STTP on electrical vehicle technology. Today's session will be handled by Professor Amos, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Panimalar Institute of Technology. He is an ardent lover of technology and students welfare. He believes lateral thinking is very much essential for the students to outsmart others and shine in the fast moving world. He is an eloquent speaker and has given a lot of motivational talks to the students and has boosted their confidence. He is currently heading the PIT Toastmasters Club as a club mentor. He did his mechanical engineering in SRM University and MTech CAD in Bharat University, and he is doing his PhD in Anna University. He started his career as a software engineer at Infosys Mysore. He has worked under .NET Platform and later quit and pursue MTech in CAD and then joined in the Apollo Engineering College as a lecturer. He worked in Weltec, Dr. RR, and Dr. SR Technical Universities. He had around 7 years of teaching experience and 10 years in teaching and 1 year in industrial experience. He has led 25 students in the Sai Baja competition, which is a nationwide contest for all terrain vehicle building by electrical propulsion, which happens in Pithampur, Madhya Pradesh. The vehicle will be tested under various conditions, and the best one will be selected for final and then allowed to participate in the endurance race. For 3 consecutive years, the team has reached the finals and participated in the endurance race. In 2018, Falcon Races, 2019 Falcon Races Choose, and 2020 Adusa Sports. And he got the Best Teacher Award in 2014, and he is a star awardee of NPTEL in 2019. With this word of introduction, I request Professor Amos David to take over the session. Please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Jones Nirmal, for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to have a look into off-road vehicle, how off-road vehicle can be applied in using electric power in an electric powered way. Let me share the slide with you. Am I audible, everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You can proceed.
Yeah. Okay. I hope all of you can see the slide. Can you? Is the screen visible, sir? Sir, is it fully visible? Anyone? Hello?
Visible, sir. Visible.
Yes, yes. Okay, sir. So good afternoon again. So here we are for the AICT sponsored short-term training program on electric vehicle technology. The topic is going to be about off-road electric vehicle design and operation. We are just going to have a glimpse of how an off-road electric vehicle is being designed and how it's being operated. We're just going to see. This is a very important question that we have to ponder at this moment. Why an e-vehicle at this point of time? Why do we have to go for an e-vehicle at this point of time? Can anyone just unmute yourself and who can shout out your answers? Why do we have to go for e-vehicle at this point of time? Why we needn't have to, why can't we stay with the already running vehicle that is mechanically operated vehicle? What is the need for an electric vehicle at this point of time? Can anyone unmute yourself? One or 2 points, anyone? All right. The fuel, basically the fuel rates are very high. And next important thing is pollution. So mechanical vehicles, they produce too much of pollution, which is going to affect the ozone layer and a lot of global warming. That's the issue that's happening. So that is the main reason for why we have to go for electric vehicle at this point of time. Our Indian pollution board and the government, what they have done, the central government, they have switched from Bharat stage 4 to stage 6. So they have skipped stage 5 totally. As per Euro norms, we are on par with the Euro norms, pollution norms. That's what the statistics says. So our Indian government, they have gone from Bharat stage 4 to stage 6 directly. So that means that we have to reduce the pollution as much as possible when we are in stage 6, right? So what is the need of the hour right now? When it was running in the fuel, that is oil, crude oil is the base for all petrol and diesel and everything. That everybody knows that. So if we move from a mechanically operated vehicle, that is IC engine, to an electric vehicle, India can save up to, as you can see on the screen, 300 billion, that is 20 lakh crore in oil import. All right, and nearly 1 gigaton of carbon dioxide emissions can be reduced by 2030. So in the next 9 years, we are in 2021 right now. If we are able to reduce this oil import, all right, crude oil is basically crude oil. When we try to reduce this particular factor, the statistics by FICCI, it says that we can save 300 billion, 20 lakh crore rupees in our import of crude oil. This is one important thing that is needed. The next thing is the market for storage in India. There is electric vehicle markets for storage in India is likely to be 4.7 gigawatt in 2022. So this is another important factor as well. And the need to counter air pollution. All right, air pollution. You might have seen Delhi. Every time during Diwali and all those festival times, they put in a lot of rules so that people don't burst crackers, because already the atmosphere, the air over there is polluted, and because of crackers, all those pollution, the pollution will go up and it will lead to a lot of breathing issues in Delhi. So same thing can happen all over India if this continues. So that is one important reason why we have to switch to electric vehicle. Now, has government done anything for this? Yes, they have done so many important, they have let out so many important policies. If you are going to have an electric vehicle, or if you are going to start a company which is going to be related to electric vehicle, maybe the selling of electric vehicle parts, or electric vehicle itself, or assembling of electric vehicle, right? You can have lots and lots of funding that is available from the central government. One such funding is called FAME, FAME 1 and FAME 2. So these are the policies that have been set up by government for adoption of electric vehicles. I'm going to explain all these things as well. This paves way for private sector units to invest in this sector. So we are the private people, correct? We don't belong to the public, right? So private sectors can try to involve themselves in the production of electric vehicles. This is an important fact. Now, what is this FAME? The FAME scheme, that is faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. Faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles is what FAME is. The FAME is, what is it? Faster adoption. F stands for faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. This is what FAME is. So the government is releasing tenders every year. This particularly, it started in 2017, right? And then they have kept reforming the policy. So using the scheme, vehicles people, if you buy an electric vehicle, what will happen is you can save rupees 1,800 to 29,000 for scooters if you're going to buy an electric scooter, as well as motorcycle if you're going to buy a car, right? You can save up to rupees 1 lakh and 1,38,000, 1.38 lakhs for if you're going to buy a car, according to the subsidy that's being given by the government. So we have to, if you're going to buy an electric vehicle, a high-end model, what you can do, you can apply through the scheme and get a discount of so according to the incentives and everything. These are the data that are available. So FAM is a part of National Electric Mobility Mission Plan by Government of India. So this is something that you should be knowing. Then what is this FAME 2? FAME 1, it didn't reach the people in a much bigger way. So they came up with FAME 2 as well. Right. So FAME 2, what is this? A subsidy for a period of 3 years is being given. So 2019 to 2022 is a subsidy period for this. So we are in FAME 2 scheme right now. And government has sanctioned 8,596 crores for this purpose. And what is the condition is, the vehicle has to run in lithium-ion batteries, and more advanced power source can avail this benefit. So something which is below lithium-ion batteries, there are a lot of other batteries that are available. Lithium-ion is one of the is the costliest thing that is there right now, the technology. And China is the only mass-producing country which is producing lithium-ion batteries. All right. So these are the things that come into this picture, FAME 2. So advanced power source, more than something like fuel cell and all those things comes under advanced power source, something better than lithium ion. If you are using these types of batteries, you can avail this benefit. This is what the scheme says. And it supports 10 lakh e-scooters, basically two-wheelers. 10 lakh e-scooters are coming under this particular benefit. And then 5 lakh three-wheelers, e-three-wheelers are in this benefit. One second. Yeah, sorry about that. So we are talking about FAME 2. So as I was telling, 5 lakh, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So 5 lakh three-wheelers are coming into this scheme, and then 55,000 four-wheelers like cars and all those commuting vehicles for basic needs. Those things are coming. Those 55,000 vehicles can be covered in this scheme, and then 5,000 e-buses. So whichever state government is able to take up the scheme and do it, they'll be able to avail this particular opportunity. So the government is able to fund the state governments or any companies which are trying to deal with e-vehicles. And next thing, whenever e-vehicles are coming in, there have to be charging stations, right? Because we see petrol bunks everywhere, gas stations, every few kilometers it is being placed. Now, when it is let's say e-vehicles are started to run on the roads, they need to be charged. All right, even though they have very good mileage and everything, minimum average is around 250 miles in single charge. That's the range of electric vehicles that are being produced nowadays. But if there's any kind of less charge, or if the battery has run down or something, they need to charge in a charging station. So the government has also given permission, and they have done infrastructure plans for around 2,700 charging stations at Tier 1 cities. So this is something that people have to look into. So there is lot of business opportunities that are totally open for electric vehicle right now. So as it is mentioned that for every 3 kilometer by 3 kilometer, it's a circle or square radius or square kilometer, you can see that it has to have a charging station. So people can take up contracts and start developing these charging stations in Tier 1 cities. So there is a lot of job opportunities as well regarding this scheme. Now, what is the basic thing that has to be understood when it comes to petrol car and electric vehicle? These are the important components in a petrol car. The first one is the engine. We call it the IC engine. IC stands for internal combustion engine. Then comes the motor, gear shifter, that is differential gears and gear shifter, gear box and gear mechanisms. And the fourth one is clutch and flywheel. Then the alternator, fuel tanks, air filter, exhaust system, pipes, muffler, sensors, catalytic converter. Catalytic converter is what that is being used to reduce the emission, basically. The emission is being reduced with the help of catalytic converter to an extent, not so much. A converter, what it does is it absorbs the NOx, SOx, and COX. SOX is sulfur oxides, NOx is nitrogen oxide, COX is carbon dioxide. All those things are being absorbed by this catalytic converter, and a minimum or minimal emission is being given out through these converters. But still, the combustion is so much. So just imagine how much of combustion the vehicles are producing. And mechanical pumps and belts, all these things are there in a petrol car. These are the things which have to be removed, basically, to make a normal car into an electric vehicle. So instead of all these components, so we have seen almost like 12 components here, these things have to be removed and replaced with these parts for an electric vehicle. First one is the adapter plate and coupling for HP version between motor and transmission. We have to do a coupling because the motor is the basic thing here, and the motor is going to be run by a battery pack. All right, that the motor has to be fed with the help of a coupling to the wheels, transmission. Then liquid cooled AC induction motor and controlled inverter. The battery pack and the motor has to be liquid cooled because it's going to generate so much of heat. If there's going to be so much of heat, then the motor will fail. So it has to be cooled. So the outer jacket has to be liquid cooled, basically. Then batteries and BMS. BMS is the important section of any electric vehicle, because when we had this competition where we participated, right before the final race, what happened? The BMS started fuming. Just imagine, all the students and me, we were all ready to go for the final race. We were in so much of enthusiasm. What happened? The BMS suddenly, because of overheating, what happened? It started fuming and white smoke started coming out of it. So BMS is very, very important component which has to be controlled, temperature control. You can see the charging has to be done only to an extent. When it is in full charge, you might have seen a lot of articles and a lot of information being shared. You're not supposed to overcharge a mobile phone, correct? If it is 100%, we will leave it for another 2 or 3 hours, and what will happen? It will overcharge. That will lead to too much of voltage in the battery, and that will lead to the battery getting burst. All right, so that overcharging problem has to be controlled, and it has to be taken care of in an electric vehicle. If it says 100% battery is charged, then it means it should be stopped. It should not be further charged. That's the mistake that we did when we were in the competition. We overcharged the system. It already said it was 95%. Then we put the charge all overnight. Overnight, we kept it in charge, and what happened? The next day morning, when we disconnected the battery, the charging control, and we started the vehicle, what happened? It started fuming. So that was a big important thing that we learned from that failure. So overcharging shouldn't be done at all, and with the help of batteries and BMS. And cell balancing, temperature control. As I said, the temperature has to be maintained, and alarm and overcharge and over discharge. Over discharge also should not be done. We should not over discharge the batteries as well to 0 or something like that. Minimum charge always has to be there. So this is an important thing that has to be noted down when it comes to batteries and BMS. Then comes the fluid and circulation pumps. All these things are for cooling the whole vehicle. All right, cabinet heating, e-motor, inverter cooling, and there's some more. Battery monitoring. After charging the battery, you have to monitor the battery. What is the ampere that is available, what is the voltage that is being given, what is the ampere hour, and all those things. There are displays that are available which are being sold. We can just, if you're going to build an electric vehicle, you can just buy them and just install it. Some battery charger. There are single phase chargers and 3-phase chargers. Basically, single phase, it'll take maybe an extra 1 hour or 2 hours for the charge to, for the vehicle to charge. Whereas a 3-phase, using a 3-phase charger, you can charge it in a faster way. And DC-DC converter is another important part that is needed. And all the other things, as you can see on the screen, potentiometer, relays. So all those components that we saw here, right, removal of components from petrol car have to be replaced with all these components. So imagine we already have the manufacturing supplies and manufacturers for all these components in India right now, whereas we don't have manufacturers for these parts. So that's a huge drawback when it comes to electric vehicle. So since it is starting now, many companies have started building this, or either they import it from China and sell it in India. That's what basically everyone's doing right now. So all these components are being imported from China and sold with much more profit by Indian companies. So the parts, electric vehicle parts, are way costlier than compared to a petrol car parts. All right. So that is the reason why electric vehicles are so costly compared to a normal passenger car, which is run by ICE engine. So this is an important factor that we have to always have it in mind. If there are companies which are going to manufacture it in India itself, then the rates of these parts will reduce drastically, and that will help the e-vehicle industry a lot. Electric vehicle industry a lot. So this is something that you have to think about. Then charging infrastructure. These are the companies which are trying to develop charging infrastructure. The vehicle, creating the vehicle and producing the vehicle is a separate sector, and creating charging infrastructure for these vehicles to run on the road without any issue. These are the companies which are trying to develop these infrastructure for charging. Ather Grid is it's a top company which have taken a lot of contract, and they are doing. Ather Energy is one of their vehicles that already is in the market. All right. So this is a glimpse of how an on-road electric vehicle is. We haven't gone to off-road yet. We are just discussing about the basics of on-road. So these are the things that are there. There is a battery backup this is battery auxiliary, which is already available in any petrol car as well. This battery is for lighting and other purposes, for headlights and all those things. These auxiliary batteries like tail lamp, brake lights, all those things are controlled by this auxiliary battery. Whereas the traction battery pack over here at the base, this is where the battery pack is placed in all the electric run on-road electric vehicles like Tesla, just come up newly. They all run with the battery pack at just below the passenger. This is where it is placed. So this is called as this is the main battery pack, traction battery pack, and there is a transmission. Transmission is being done with the help of a motor, and then the charging port. I'll be discussing about the charging port as well. All right. So as I mentioned, electric vehicle needs a lot of cooling. Thermal system cooling has to be done. Without cooling, it cannot run for even 100 kilometers. So the cooling has to be done properly in such a way so that it doesn't overheat any of its components. So cooling is an important factor that has to be taken care of. Then another, we just say electric vehicle, but in the market and in the industry, there are these 4 types of electric vehicles which are available. The first one is battery electric vehicle. All right. When I say electric vehicle, can anyone just unmute yourself and answer this? Does it mean that there is zero emission of carbon dioxide, or can anyone unmute yourself? If I say electric vehicle, can I say there is 0% emission, or there is no the 0% pollution is there? Can I say that? Can anyone unmute yourself and comment?
Sir, as you told that there is a thermal system inside the electric vehicles, so we cannot say that there is a 0% emissions.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So we cannot say that electric vehicle is having 0% pollution, because the electricity that is being used for charge, how is electricity is being produced currently in India? Is everything being got from like solar powered or wind powered. No, the major electric generation is done through steam power plants. Currently, major power for India is being generated by steam power. Steam power is basically what? Burning of coal and heating the water. Water is converted to steam. That steam is being made to run the generator, and the turbine runs the generator, and generator generates the current. So this is the basic thing. So if we are charging for 2 or 3 hours if I'm charging the vehicle, indirectly I'm using where did I get that electric power from? From the plant. So there, let's say a few amount of coal has been burned, and that burnt fuel has been sent out into the atmosphere. So we cannot say that electric vehicle is giving us 0% pollution. Maybe when the vehicle is running, there is 0% emission. All right. But for charging the vehicle, where am I getting the power from? Majorly from the coal power plants, that is steam power plants. And definitely we can say that some amount of combustion is happening, even though it is a battery powered electric vehicle. All right. So what are the difference between these 4 things we are just going to see in a glance? So first one is a battery electric vehicle. Next one is the extended range electric vehicle. Third one is plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and the fourth one is hybrid electric vehicle. You'll get an idea when I finish all these 4. Now the first one is the battery powered electric vehicle. All right, all its power from the batteries. It gets its power from batteries and electric motors. In the vehicle, this is what it is. Its power is from the battery and electric motor. Now it is the electric vehicles emit, this type of vehicle, that is battery powered electric vehicle, it emits 50 to 51% less carbon dioxide than internal combustion engine vehicles. You can see this percentage. So it is not 0. All right. So electric vehicles emit how much? 50 to 51. Where does this 50 to 51 carbon dioxide come from? Is from the power plant, because so much of electric current is given as, that is voltage is given as for charging for the electric vehicle. So hence, so much of coal is being burnt in the power plant to generate that current. All right. So this is an important factor that we have to always know. Then comes the extended range electric vehicle. All right. Extended range electric vehicle, what they have is, they have an auxiliary power unit. All right. They have an auxiliary power unit it's called the range extender. Let's say if I have to run my vehicle for a distance of 350 kilometers, what I will do, in the first 200 kilometers, I'll run my vehicle in a normal battery pack. After that, what I will do, I can switch it over to an internal combustion engine. So it's a mix of, the vehicle will be having a mix of electric generator, that is which is running with the help of a battery, all right, as well as a small internal combustion engine in it. All right. So it is a mix of electric vehicle as well as a normal petrol car, combustible vehicle, right, where it is having a internal combustion engine. So what basically happens is, this, for example, in a range BMW i3, this is an extended range electric vehicle. So for the first 200 kilometers, I can run it with an electric battery. All right. And after that, for the next 150 kilometers, what I can do, I can just switch it to an internal combustion engine, and the vehicle can start running in an internal combustion engine. So this is basically what an extended range electric vehicle is. I cannot call this as an hybrid, because the internal combustion engine is just a small part of it. It is not a hybrid, means half, exactly half it should be. All right. This internal combustion engine in extended range REV, in EREV, it's just a small component in it. With that, you can just, maybe let's say I'm out of charge. All right. When I just went for 200 kilometers, and if I'm out of charge, what I will do, I can't stop the vehicle there and just walk and go. What I can do, I can just switch out to the internal combustion engine, drive for some more distance, till I find a charging point. All right. So these kind of things have to be, for this purpose, these extended REVs is available currently. Next comes plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. This is what an hybrid vehicle is. So what it has is, it has an electric motor and a gas engine, all right? It has both gas engine as well as an electric motor. So half. So I can just plug in and drive an electric motor, or I can use as a gas engine. This is basically what a hybrid vehicle is, plug-in hybrid vehicle. So example is Kia Niro plug-in hybrid. All right, I can just switch over. Clear? So when I run it in gas engine, the electric motor charges. So when I run it in electric motor, the gas engine just stays quiet. It doesn't do anything. All right. So with the help of gas engine, I can charge my electric motor and charge my battery and still continue to run with my electric power source. So this is basically plug-in type. Then comes hybrid vehicle that combines a conventional internal combustion engine propulsion system with an electric propulsion system. This is hybrid, means, as I said, half. So it's exactly half. All right. Half it is IC and half it is electric propulsion. So I can use whichever way I wanted. This is hybrid electric vehicle. Then comes fuel cell electric vehicle. This is not, it's still in research, not being covered much. All right. This is running in fuel cell. If I run it in fuel cell, then only I can call it as zero emission vehicle, because the fuel cell itself generates its power. Got it? So fuel cell means it's an advanced area. All right, everybody would have heard about it. Fuel cell. It's I mean, it's in research, and many fuel cells will come up right now. Hydrogen fuel cell and a lot of things. So what they are doing is basically the fuel cell itself generates the power. Right? In that case, I need not get the energy, that is power, from any kind of power plant or anything. Since the fuel cell itself is generating the power for the vehicle, this can be called as zero emission vehicle. All right. So fuel cell electric vehicle is the only vehicle we can call it as zero emission, because there is no carbon dioxide or nitrogen oxide or sulfur oxide emissions at all. It's going to run purely in fuel cell technology. All right. These are the various types of electric vehicles that are available. So I hope you had I've got an idea of all this right now. Now let's move on to off-roader. Now in cities we have good roads. When we go a little further into the towns and villages, there are not much good roads. Maybe in the highways you might have very good roads because we are paying the toll and everything. They are maintaining the highways properly. But when we go beyond a certain range, there are not much proper roads that are available. Can a normal passenger vehicle, will it be able to withstand those kind of roads, is a big question. All right, if you're going to go like many number of times your village or town or something, if there are no proper roads, what's going to happen is your suspension or your driving, basically your vehicle is going to undergo a lot of stress and it will finally give away. Some of the parts will give away and will not be able to run properly. So why we have to go for an off-roader? As the statistics tells you that 21.6 million kilometer roads are in this world. In this world, I'm not talking about India or a state or other state or anything. This whole world, it has how much? 21.6 million kilometer of roads. Only this much. So remaining, there are no roads at all. All right. If you're going to if you're planning for a trip, or a trip in your own vehicle, or any kind of a safari in desert safari and all those things which happen in Gulf and all, everything, all those vehicles are off-road vehicles. They are not on-road vehicles at all, because you can't find too much of roads in Gulf or somewhere in North India and all. The roads are not so predominant. That's what the statistics tells you. So commercial vehicle will break down in other terrain. So instead if there's a normal terrain, let's say a road, all the other terrains are all called other terrains. All right. So we are in need of an all-terrain vehicle. I can't go complain and ask them to put a road wherever I go. Correct. So what I can just do is buy an off-road vehicle and travel on road or any other terrain as I wish. For example, in Mars, the rover what they have planned is that the Mars rover that's been sent for exploration, that was an off-road vehicle, which can run in any kind of environment, right? Any kind of terrain. You might have seen all those Mars videos and all rover where it landed and where it was going and running on the surface of Mars. You can see that how the vehicle has been designed. All right. Now, what is this off-road vehicle? Off-road is considered to be any type of vehicle which is capable of driving on and off paved or gravel surface. It can run in any kind of terrain. That is what an off-road vehicle is. Right. These are some off-road vehicles. You might have seen a lot of on-road vehicle, e-vehicle, but here are a few examples of off-road electric vehicles. This is a very famous brand called Nikola NZT. Since 2019, it's available. Right, its power output is 440, and you can see all the in single charge it can go for 150 miles. So in just a single charge, right? So 151 mile is 2.2 kilometers. So imagine how much kilometers it can travel. All right, and 0 to 60 it can go in 3.5 seconds. This is one of the fastest that is available right now. Okay, Nikola, it's named after the scientist Nikola Tesla. Tesla has been taken off. I mean, the brand name has been taken by Elon Musk. So these people have kept Nikola, I guess. Right. Then comes Bollinger B1. It's available since 2019. Right. You can see all those details here. So it can go from 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and top speed is 127 meter per hour, and its torque is 472. So it's basically an SUV kind of vehicle. Then comes Chevy Colorado. This was done by Chevrolet, the brand Chevrolet company. Then they have basically developed for military purpose. So it has all bulletproof glasses and bulletproof outer casing. All the body and all that's bulletproof, so that it doesn't allow any kind of bullets or missile. I don't know how much it can withstand, but bullets it can withstand. That's what. So it's not available for commercial purpose. It's only available for military usage, this particular vehicle, and it's an electric vehicle, right? So its range is 200 miles. Next comes Chrysler Hummer. This is a Hummer model. So this range is 186 miles in single charge. It can run. And 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. So top speed is 113. And this is one of the latest ones, Rivian R1T, which is still available. All right, its range is one of the maximum range. It's 230 miles it can go on a single charge. All these miles that I'm talking about, the range, it totally depends on the battery pack. If you're going to have a single battery pack, then the range is going to be less. The single charge range is going to be lesser. If you're going to have a multi-pack, like three battery packs assembled in BMS all together, what happens? The range is going to be higher. There are vehicles which can run for 400 miles also. All right. There are vehicles which can run for 400 miles as well, which are available in the market. Okay, which can go pretty good distance. All right. So I'll just share some videos so that it will be interesting for you. This is about the Nikola. Is it audible, everyone? Is it audible?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yeah. And can you see the screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now these are three vehicles that are there. All are off-road vehicles. So just watch what's happening. The moment the flag is waved off, the first two vehicles will go off. Just have a look at it. The Nikola vehicle is far behind now. It is not in a race at all right now. But then he starts the vehicle. Look how late he is joining the race. That's the beauty of the vehicle. Look at the torque that is being generated. It is far behind, but look at the speed in which it is traveling. and it will be able to catch up with the other vehicles in a very short time. Look, now it has come to first place. So this is the vehicle's capacity, and it's purely run by electric. So look at the terrain. So basically for exploration or traveling these kind of terrains, you can opt for this vehicle. So this is Nikola for you. Next, just 2 or 3 days back, the Hummer, GMC, that is General Motors Corporation, they have released the electric version of it. It is the first edition that is available. It has been released just 2 to 3 days back. They have released it. Just have a look at it. Can you see the screen, sir? Hummer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hummer is one of the broadest vehicle in the world right now. So this is Hummer, and it is purely electric powered. It's no way inferior to any of the petrol or diesel run vehicles. Look at the power it is producing.
With no limits, no emissions, and no equals. It will leave everything you thought possible in a cloud of dust. The quiet revolution begins with a nearly silent all-electric propulsion system that offers 1,000 horsepower, 11,500 pound-feet of torque. And for the brave souls who dare to engage watts to freedom, the thrill of accelerating 0 to 60 in approximately 3 seconds. The innovation continues with the next generation of Super Cruise, a driver assistance feature that offers hands-free driving with automatic lane changing on compatible roads. For remarkable driving precision, Hummer EV is engineered with segment-exclusive four-wheel steering.
So this is Hummer EV, and then I'd like to show you another video in which all the top 5 electric off-roader vehicles are being.
Electric vehicles are getting more and more popular from day to day. Not only are they cost-effective, but they also provide high utility to the environment. In this video, we have prepared the top 5 off-road electric vehicles that will amaze you with their outstanding design and performance. Nikola NZT. Nikola Motors Sports Division, Nikola Power Sports, has officially unveiled their mighty electric off-roader in 2017, called the Nikola NZT. The challenges of riding in the deserts or during snow or even in the rocky areas are no longer obstacles with this electric beast. It comes with 12-inch touchscreen display that will provide all the vehicle dynamics and statistics you need. The vehicle will be available in 4 models, and the top version that's equipped with a 440 kilowatt electric motor will be able to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds. The all-wheel instant torque vectoring brings remarkable performance by delivering up to 722 pound-feet of torque. Thanks to the 125 kilowatt-hours battery pack, you can travel up to 150 miles on a single charge. The NZTs will be available to buy in 2019 at a starting price of $28,900. Bollinger B1. The US-based Bollinger Motors Company has introduced the world's first fully electric all-wheel drive sports utility truck. The vehicle comes with high-strength steel rollover structure and has simple minimalistic design for the interior. The B1's dual-motor drivetrain generates 270 kilowatt power output with 472 pound-feet of torque that enables it to hit 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds and reach a top speed of 127 miles per hour. With a 100 kilowatt hours lithium-ion battery pack, you can drive 200 miles on a single charge. The vehicle will be delivered in 2019, and you can reserve one now. Chevrolet Colorado ZH2. General Motors developed an off-road hydrogen-powered electric pickup truck for the US Armed Forces in 2016, called the Colorado ZH2. The ZH2's silent drive system and the bulletproof tanks will be ideal for the military use. With 37-inch off-road tires and a specially modified suspension, the vehicle can climb over and descend all manner of terrain. The electric motor delivers 130 kilowatt power output, and depending on the type of terrain, it can go 200 miles on a single charge. The vehicle is also equipped with a separate electric generator housed in the trunk for additional power. The US Army had 1 year to evaluate the capabilities of the ZH2 fuel cell electric vehicle, and the final demonstration will be held late in January 2018. Chrysler Hummer H1. Arnold Schwarzenegger presented the world's first electric Hummer H1 from the Austrian-based Chrysler Electric Company. This all-wheel drive, fully electric vehicle is equipped with the company's high-quality 100 kilowatt-hours lithium-ion battery pack that helps achieve 186 miles of range on a single charge. 2 electric motors in the front and rear deliver a combined 360 kilowatt power output. This is not the only huge success of Chrysler, as it has also electrified an off-road vehicle on the design basis of Mercedes G-Wagon a year ago. The 360 kilowatt electric motor enables the vehicle to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.6 seconds and reach a top speed of 113 miles per hour.
Yeah, so these are the
total
different vehicles that are there in the market. So let's continue. Yeah. Now, just like to explain how we built our vehicle for the SAE Baja competition. So we started off in the year 2017. That was the first time we started developing the vehicle, and a lot of things were taken into account as we were from mechanical, so we had to study a lot of technology related to electric, and we had to incorporate it in the vehicle. So these are certain standards that have to be followed while creating the vehicle, which are according to the rule book that's been given by the SAE. All right, the person has to be within this particular range, and in case of emergency, he should be able to step out of the all-terrain vehicle within a few seconds, like 5 seconds. He has to step out away from the vehicle in just 5 seconds. So all those things have to be taken into account: the distance, and the spacing of the vehicle, where his arm is, and all those things have to be taken into account. So this is a prototype that we just developed, and using this prototype we just designed, and all these factors were taken into consideration. So 2 types of materials were chosen: ASI aluminum alloy 1018 and 4130. These type of materials were taken into consideration. So this was the battery pack. The battery pack that we procured was from a company called as Compash, which is available in our country, and they basically imported from China. They don't manufacture it. They import it from China and they sell it here, and it's whooping 1.5 lakhs. Just imagine the battery pack alone. Electric motor is separate. The battery pack alone costs 1.5 lakhs. So this was, we were so gracious that our college management, they were able to support us with the battery packs purchase. And these are the different, the motor type was BLDC, brushless DC motor. That is what the motor that we use for our, and this is an important thing, the controller. Like we have a battery pack, we have a BMS. The controller is an important thing, and the Kelly controller was a controller that was suggested for us. And we used this Kelly controller on all this, the unit, how it has to be connected, and everything has been mentioned here. So any kind of error in this led to issues in the vehicle. Excuse me. If I connect to 12 volt, or accidentally if there's any kind of return that is happening, return in the voltage. So what happened? At a point where 12 volt has to be connected, if like 24 voltage or 48 voltage is coming, what happened? That particular fuse or the bulb, the tail lamp or the front head lamp, all those things just went off. It didn't work at all. So we had to buy another part, and before that we had to check whether exactly 12 volt is coming in that particular area. These were the issues that we faced when we were building the vehicle. At a point where 48 volt has to be got, we were getting 12 volts. So we had to find out where the connection was lost, and all those issues we had to face during this building of this vehicle. So this is the person, this is the company that supplies, eKit supplies basically. So anybody can, who can afford these parts can build a vehicle right from scratch directly, because these people, they provide from auto rickshaws, imagine e-rickshaws, e-auto, electric bike, minibus, tractor, all those, for everything they are providing motors and battery pack. All right, they say that it is made in India, but when we ask them, they say that in person they are telling that it has come from China. That's what they usually do. All right, so these are some photos that we took in a call. This was our e-vehicle, the e-road vehicle, the first vehicle in the year 2018. 17 we passed, 18 we participated, and then this is the vehicle that we designed. And these are students who are involved in that project. This is the second year when we went. This was the time we went through all the issues, and like we completed all the testings and all the procedure. And when we were about to go for the final race, what happened? The day before, we charged it fully and we went off to our bunkers, and we came back and started the vehicle. The BMS started fuming, and immediately we had to switch off and disassemble the component. And when we saw the BMS started, the battery pack and all those things started, it has been damaged totally. That was a huge failure, but through that we learned a lot of things. And in 2020, this was a vehicle. Every year we've been participating, and this particular version is the third version of our college. This all, we were under the name Osdia Sports. So this was a vehicle. This did pretty well during the final race. And what are the advantages? So as you could have seen from the discussion, you can see that there is not much of maintenance needed for electric vehicle. All right, there is not much of maintenance that is needed for electric vehicle. Once it is being installed, the parts, we don't need to worry about the parts, because there is not much of friction involved. When there is friction involved, only maintenance has to be done. In a combustion engine, there is a lot of friction involved, so, and a lot of moving parts are involved. So because of that, there is a lot of maintenance that is needed. But for an electric vehicle, there is no maintenance at all, right? And maintenance, even if there's maintenance, you have to change the particular component. And environment friendly, because there is very less emission, so there's going to be environment friendly. And health benefits, so air quality is going to be better compared to what is right now if everything becomes electric. And there is not much noise at all, right? If you see on the road, if there is a combustible IC engine, if a normal petrol car is running on the road, you can see so much of noise. But in electric vehicle, there is not much noise at all. You might have, if you're living in Chennai, the corporation, Chennai Madras Corporation, they have installed electric vehicle three-wheelers, I mean four-wheelers, I guess, small electric vehicle four-wheelers, which are coming and taking the garbage out from the city, from every house. So it has no noise at all. All the person has to do is just whistle and notify us that he has come. Okay, we don't know whether they have come or not because the vehicle has no noise at all. Right, so there is less noise, and important thing that is all electric vehicles have to have something called as TSAL light. What it is there should be a light on top of all the electric vehicles, which are missing nowadays. This is an important thing that we learned when we built the electric vehicle. The TSAL light should be positioned on the top of the vehicle, so that everybody from 360 degree, everybody should have a look at it, because when the vehicle is moving, there is no noise. All right, so what if it causes some accident or something? So when the light is glowing, when they switch on the ignition, the light will start to glow, the TSAL lamp we call it. That is missing in a lot of electric vehicles nowadays. They in our college also we have an electric vehicle that is ferrying people from the gate to the various departments. Even that doesn't have this particular light, so that has to be included. That's what I feel basically, because when the vehicle is moving, we don't know whether it is on condition or off condition, because there is no noise, nothing, right? So when this light is glowing, we can figure out that okay, the vehicle is in on condition and it is moving. So this is something that has to be incorporated in all the vehicles. And disadvantage, as you can see, the cost of the vehicle compared to a conventional vehicle is very, very high, and you will know why it is, because the cost of the lithium-ion battery already it is so high, and upon that the government is charging a GST of 28% on that. So it becomes more higher. The technology itself is so advanced, so it is costly, and beyond that the GST is being put for 28%, and so the vehicle cost becomes very high. So that is the battery cost, and in turn it increases the vehicle cost as well. And charging infrastructure is very, very poor currently, but in the future, if there are many companies which are able to come up with a lot of infrastructure regarding charging, they'll be able to get some good charging facilities all around the cities. All right, so these are some basic disadvantages of an electric vehicle. If these are overcome in the near future, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, and you know the cost of petrol and diesel nowadays, as it is going higher and higher, and recently the Ola company, they have come up with two-wheelers as well. They have started letting out two-wheelers which are being produced in Chennai. In Sriperumbudur, they have started a plant where they are assembling and selling out two-wheelers, that is electric two-wheelers. So if it is the reduced the percentage of GST, all those battery packs and everything, if it is being reduced on the import, or maybe if Indian companies, top major companies, if they start producing these components, electric vehicle components, the cost of the vehicle will drastically reduce, and it will be affordable for a common person, a common man, because the current minimum average electric vehicle it costs 12 to 15 lakhs average, right? So is it affordable? Not, I don't think so. 3 or 4 lakhs, it is affordable for a common man, or if it's still lesser, means they can go for a e-scooter basically. All right, so this is what I would like to share. So any questions regarding this are welcome, and you can unmute yourself and ask questions based on this. So anyone? And I would like to thank our EEE department HOD, ma'am, Dr. S. Ramaprabha, and the coordinator, Dr. S. Deepa, madam, and Nirmal Jones sir for this opportunity. And I'd like to thank my management as well for giving us this forum where you could share our experience with others. And thank you very much. So any questions are welcome. I'll be able to answer you. Anyone? Any questions? You can pose your questions or you can. Any questions regarding off-road vehicle, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Based on my experience, I can share it. And there are a lot of off-road vehicles that are being produced currently. And India also is trying to produce some off-road vehicles as well. And very soon they'll be coming into the market. Off-roaders are going to have a huge impact in the future, definitely. Why an AC induction motor is used in EV? So basically, yeah, AC later it's being converted with the DC-DC converter. DC you cannot get directly from battery pack. You cannot get a DC supply, so it has to be got as an AC and then it has to be converted into a DC-DC. With the help of a DC-DC converter, we convert it. That is why we use AC induction motor in an electric vehicle. In case of any emergency or something, if there's going to be DC supply, we cannot stop it. So AC means since the sinusoidal wave is there, we will be able to have an opportunity to stop. Yeah. So any other questions, participants? Sir, John, sir.
Sir, can we end up this session, sir?
Yeah, we'll end it, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, it's given me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event. I would like to thank our speaker who honored this event with some good details on an electric vehicle. And I would like to thank our participants for your active participation. Sir, for this session, I have posted the feedback form on chat box. Fill it before you are leaving. So tomorrow we have our session on electric vehicle by 10 a.m. Hope you all joined there. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thomas, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants, for your cooperation. Thank you. All the best.
Okay, thank you.